Hey everyone, welcome to the Oasis podcast. I'm your host, Miss AJ. Thanks for tuning in. An oasis is something that provides refuge, relief, or pleasant contrast, and that is exactly what you can find tuning into the Oasis podcast. This will be a space where I and special guests will be cultivating intentional and honest conversations about life's journey. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe now. Also follow us on Instagram at the Oasis Podcast. That's TheOasis Podcast. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Oasis Podcast. Thank you for joining us again for our third episode. So I've received a lot of support, a lot of comments about the podcast, and one that seems to be reoccurring is those who are like, you know, what direction are you kind of going with this? And I want to, clarify that for everyone. And honestly, this is still very new to me. I'm still working out the kinks. I'm doing all this solo, so I am figuring things out. It is a little rough, which I am aware and I'm going to work on. But of course, as you do things a little more, things get better. But I just kind of want to clarify for some folks, those of you who do listen to a lot of podcasts, you'll know that they're all very unique, all very different. And some tend to be really, really structured and some kind of just aren't. And I honestly am not looking to fit any mold. I am not looking to have something that's super, super structured or anything like that. I'm really just doing what feels organic. Those who kind of know me know I love having great conversations. I love just sitting and just talking about anything and everything. And that's the feel that I want my podcast to have. And so if you are looking for that, you are in the right place. If you're looking for something that tends to be a little more structured and you know what to expect and how to expect it, I'm not sure you're going to get that here. And that's okay, I definitely suggest finding something that fits you. But I like the idea and I want the feel of being on a nice comfy couch with one of your favorite people and just talking about anything and everything. And that's the flow I guess I'm looking for and I'm trying to have on my podcast. And I just felt like I needed to clarify that for some folk. And those who know me know that that is so me. And of course, those of you who are getting to know me will get to know that that is exactly who I am and what I am aiming for. So it is Women's History Month. So happy Women's History Month to all the lovely ladies out there. Fellas, you can also show some appreciation. You'll have your time to gloat and be in the light. But this month we are appreciating our wonderful women. And of course, we need to celebrate our women every day, not just in March. But this has been pretty interesting, Women's History Month, and interesting in a good way. Maybe this is the first year I've actually really been conscious about celebrating it. And I've done so in different capacities. But I guess it's also been on my mind simply because since about last year or so, I've really aimed to foster more positive relationships with women, both personally and professionally. And I feel like this year it's really come to fruition, like it's really coming together. So professionally, my organization has been able to start a women's support group, which I thought was super, super amazing. And I'm happy that it happened, and it came out of a meeting that I helped co-lead. And the women in that meeting, we were talking and really just talking about life and things we're working on. And the idea came from that meeting, and it actually panned itself out the first day of March, which was Women's International. It's International Women's Day, excuse me. And it was great. Like, it was such a great experience, and I'm looking forward to the next one. It was good to see women from all walks of life, mothers, those who were younger, those who were married without kids, those who were more seasoned, just every walk of life. we were able to really connect, and we wouldn't have known that we were able to connect on certain levels if we were all sitting there in the same space. So it was really, really great. And another way that I've been like personally trying to connect with women is one, of course, women that I already know, right? Family members, especially women who are friends and colleagues as well, or colleagues who become friends. But also I started looking to foster more relationships with just women who are outside of my circle, because I feel like you won't necessarily grow as much as you can if you're just always surrounded by the same people. So I made myself uncomfortable, which is a thing for me. Like I say, I'm selectively social. And I am, and I hate sometimes going out and being around people I don't know and just strange places, but I've been forcing myself to do these things this past year or so. And so one way I was able to do that, or started doing that, was attending a women's group that is called Vine Women. And I thought that the group was such a great idea. I found it on Eventbrite really randomly. I decided I was going to attend, and I was able to attend it. I've been attending it for almost a year, I want to say. And I've met and networked with and interacted with so many amazing women so far. Again, from all walks of life, all ages, all ethnicities and backgrounds. The founder of the women's group is named Aletha Minter, and she was just so supportive, and has even allowed me to promote my wellness consulting business, AJO Consulting Services, and allowed me rather to facilitate self-care workshop for the members. And it's been such a great space to learn about other small businesses that are owned by women, but also just to talk and just have a space where we can get help and just be, I guess you can say. And so I thought that since I found so much connection and joy in attending this women's group, that she would be a perfect individual to have on the podcast as my first interview, and in honor of Women's History Month, that I would interview her, because she is a woman who I feel is really trying to connect women to other women and encourage us to lean on each other when we need help. And so please take a listen to the interview that I had with Miss Aletha Minter, the founder of Vine Women. So I have a special guest with us, Miss Aletha Minter from Vine Women. Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
So I would love for you to tell us more about Vine Women, but before doing that, I wanted to have you on because of the work you do with women, and supporting women and supporting us having healthy, positive relationships with each other. But most importantly, for us women to ask each other for help, right? In honor of Women's History Month, I thought you were the best person to talk to, the best topic to cover. And thank you for agreeing to do the interview with us. And so please just start out by telling us a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
Sure. So, like you said, my name is Aletha Minter. I'm the mom of 3, also a wife. When I started out my independent life from my mom, I found myself stuck a lot, not sure about how to make choices, how to navigate life, and I had everyone believe that I had it all together when I really didn't. As I got older, I started meeting other women, realizing they also wasn't 100% sure about how things should go or things should be. And that gave me the idea to maybe bring us all together somehow so that we could help each other out, in different ways. And so that's what inspired me to start Vine Women. My struggles and realizing that I wasn't the only one, and that there were other women out there that were having this similar struggles, similar experiences with me.
Great. So how exactly did you create Vine Women? I know you gave us the background, but was there a certain process? Did you have help?
I did go to my family for support to find out if they thought it was a good idea. A lot of them were excited about it, actually. And then I started to Google how to start women's groups. And I got a lot of ideas from online. And also prayer. I prayed a lot. And I asked God, is this something that is a good idea, if it's something that's needed? And I did feel that I should move forward after praying, speaking to family members. And so I started praying about how to start and how to begin that process. And taking the example of Christ, giving was his first big thing. And so I said to myself, how could I be more of a giver so that I could start this connecting women? And that's why I started our mixers.
So give us a run through, someone who's never attended a group. Yeah. What does it look like from beginning to end?
Right. So we usually have a mixer every other month where we like to support or promote women-owned products. So if it's a product or service, Vine Women purchases that product or service, and anyone that attends the mixers every other month, they get a sample of what that product or service is. And then we also allow the business owner, to talk about their product and tell everybody why it's special, and just promote, our way of promoting. We also like to present a topic that we find women gravitate to, maybe we should learn more about, and we get someone that's an expert in that area to present that topic or idea, maybe help us out more in that realm.
Great.
Yeah.
And so I've attended quite a few sessions or mixers, and it's grown substantially. And so kind of tell me how you feel about that growth, but also what were some of the hardships that you faced in getting it to the point that it is now?
Yeah, it's exciting because even though you do hear that it's something that people are interested in, you have to see them actually participating to really believe it, and the fact that there are more people attending, more people coming, and then when we talk, the excitement, that's exciting. That's definitely exciting to hear. Struggles are people are usually skeptical when you're offering something for free, no charge. They usually look at you like, what are you trying to get me in?
Right.
And so I always try to keep it light and always remind them, it's totally up to you. There's no obligation. We're just looking to be supportive. That was mainly the biggest struggle, just the caution that
getting people to buy in.
Yeah, to the idea that, look, we're just doing this. We want to just be helpful. We just want to help you. We're not looking to get anything out of you. That's basically the biggest obstacle.
Okay, so what do you wish you've known when you first started Vine Women?
Well, the support, the consistent support, which I think in anything you may have that challenge in the beginning of actually finding someone that in the beginning is there and that will continuously be there, right? That they're continually consistent, because sometimes people have a hard time being consistent in any area, and maybe solidifying that support in just running this whole organization. That I probably wish I would have known up front, so that I could have been better prepared, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. And so I heard you say it was about getting consistent support and then getting people to buy in. So do you feel you've gotten over that hurdle? And if so, kind of how did you do that?
Yeah, I don't think, especially the getting people to buy in, I think that's going to be ongoing. As new people come on and new people find out about what we're doing, I think that'll be ongoing. That won't be. But I think that the more people that do see that we're here and we're genuine, word of mouth would probably be our best support, right? If people could say, no, they're real. They don't want anything from you. We're just here to support. I don't think I'll ever get over that. That'll always be there. This constant support, somewhat. I've learned to roll with the punches and just trust that it's gonna work out, whether I have consistent support or not. I think I have gotten over that. Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
And so, what advice would you give to listeners? So it could be either if some people are listening and they want to start their own organization, or just in general in life, some gems you want to drop on women who might have started out thinking like, let me just pretend for the world I got it together. When inside you're falling apart, because I've been there. So what advice would you give to the listener?
So someone that leads everyone to believe that they have it together, but they really don't. That doesn't help anyone, honestly. You being honest about your struggles not only helps you, because you'll eventually get help, but then it also helps someone else. And we're not all drowning in struggles and no one sees, you know? For someone that wants to start an organization, just stick with it. You know, it's not going to look great from the beginning. It's not going to look great a year later. But if you really believe in your vision, just stick with it. Stay with your vision. Believe in your vision, and just continue. Just be consistent, even when it's good, even when it looks bad. Just stay consistent. That's my biggest advice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so, who are the dope women in your life? Since we're talking about women and it's Women's History Month, who are the women that you look up to, that you appreciate?
Absolutely, my mom. Absolutely. And I will say, I did not appreciate my mom until I became a mom. Yeah. I used to criticize her and judge her, honestly, because she wasn't doing things I thought she should be doing. But then when I became a mom and I was faced with the same obstacles, very similar situation, you know, I was amazed by how she handled it. So she's definitely one that I have several, you know, several dedicated women in my family that are amazing, you know, amazing to all of us, not only their kids, but like just as a family on the whole. My mom definitely, though, she tops that list.
Okay. So hopefully mommy listens, right?
I
and
know.
She can get a shout out.
I will let her know.
Shout out to mommy.
Yeah.
Okay. And so where and how can listeners contact you? So Instagram, Facebook, email.
So we have our website, vinewomen.org. We are also on Facebook and Twitter. We haven't gotten to Instagram yet. I'm learning how to get into that. Okay. But yeah, we're on those other social media sites.
So Vine Women, and then they can get in contact with you.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So via email, they can reach out about either a business that they want you to support, right? Or mixer dates and things like that. Or even if they want to ask you some questions, maybe. Yeah. Okay, you're open to that?
Absolutely. And if I don't have the answer, I will definitely contact anyone else that's in our group and see if they can help. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
So I hope you enjoyed listening to that interview. I definitely enjoyed interviewing Miss Minter. She's such a beautiful soul, and I encourage all of you who are interested to definitely attend Vine Women. It's held every other month, like Miss Minter mentioned, but it's really a great space. And she actually started doing off-month mixers, so now like every other month that we don't actually meet up for the group, she's starting to host events so we can get together and mingle. And April we are doing bowling, I believe, at Chelsea Piers. So definitely come out and have some fun, meet some ladies, network in a nice, fun environment. And I strongly encourage you all who are interested to attend. I'll definitely be there for sure. So, again, talking about women, I wanted to have you all think about the dope women in your life, right? So, yes, we are celebrating Women's History Month, but of course, women are around every day, right? And I think it's important for us to really think about those individuals who have really shaped us into the people that we are, into the people and the women we are becoming. And what better time to start, of course, for Women's History Month, but really to keep this thought kind of ongoing, right? So who are the dope women in your life, right? For me, I have so many in my personal and professional life, and I'm really grateful for that. I feel like a few years ago, I didn't really have that, or I couldn't really say that, oh yeah, I really know these amazing women. But now I feel like I really do. They're very different. They bring different things to my life, and I hope I bring different things to their lives as well. But I have like colleagues, who are out here traveling the world, starting small businesses and just spreading their magic, which I just love. They keep me inspired. They keep me motivated. They keep me grounded sometimes as well, which I totally need. And just also having family members, younger, older, just really out here doing their thing, raising their kids amazingly. You know what I mean? Just keeping it all together. Because Lord knows I probably would. I don't know if I was in their shoes, if I'll be able to do it the way they're doing it. But also those who are younger, out here and grinding, they're in school, just even doing their own podcast and just they're just amazing. I'm always amazed, and I try my best and my hardest to try to like encourage them and give them words of encouragement and praise, because I feel like I know for a fact that when I was their age, I don't feel like I was really getting that, and so I try to give that to them and let them know I'm proud of them and they're amazing. Even sometimes because people are so close to us, we think they know, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just need to hear, I think you're awesome. I think you're amazing. I'm proud of you. And so definitely try to take some time to start doing that, as often as you can, because words mean a lot, and you have no idea how just maybe a few words of praise can really just change someone's outlook and just make them feel so much better about what they're doing and where they are in life. So definitely, if you can, do so. Just say, I'm proud of you, or you're doing an amazing job, keep going. Or just even in checking in on those women in your life who are really out here grinding, because a lot of times they need some support. A lot of times they need someone to kind of give them a push. And they might be tired too of being that person all the time. Speaking of which, so lately I've been trying to find a therapist. I've learned over the years that sometimes I need someone to talk to, just to unpack things with. And let me tell you how this has probably been the hardest search for a therapist that I've had. I've seen a therapist before. And those of you who are thinking about therapy or on the fence about it, I highly recommend it. It's tough. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not difficult. One, finding a therapist, but also really going into the sessions and really doing the work. So I will be honest, because I wasn't there when I first started going to therapy. When I first started going individually, was kind of done because I was in some state of crisis. I don't think I was at my absolute worst, but I felt myself unraveling and I didn't like it. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to find someone to talk to. I didn't do a thorough search. It was more like who can see me? I need to talk. I need help. And so I found someone, and she was helpful for the most part, but I didn't feel as connected as I think I should have felt. And I definitely didn't open up as much as I should have. I definitely was able to work some things out, but I felt like I could have gained more. And I think that was because I didn't do my due diligence in making sure I I was finding someone I really, really identified with. And for me, it took some time to think about what that was and who that was and who that person looked like for me. And so since that time, which was about 2 years ago, I've been playing around with the idea of going to therapy. Last year, my grandma passed. I thought about it again, but then I was still hesitant. I don't know. I wanted to lean on myself more. So I, said, let me see if I can get through this tough period. And if I can't, then I'll find a therapist. But I ended up getting through it, and I think I did a pretty decent job. But now I feel like, one, I have a better idea of what my therapist should look like for me to connect. And two, I'm not in crisis. I'm not in any real state. And I think this is the best place for me to be, to really open up to someone. And so I've been searching since, it's been a while. I've been looking for a therapist, and it's been so difficult trying to find someone, one, that my insurance will pay for, but also someone that I feel I connect with. And that's someone who's African American. I prefer a woman around my age group, if not a little bit older, mainly because I just feel like I need to feel like I'm talking to a friend, not someone who's judging me, right? And I know that that's not what therapy is. And I, of course, work in the mental health field. I definitely should know better. But you know what? I'm human. And and that was a huge roadblock for me, just feeling like I couldn't reveal my true self because I was going to be judged, because I was going to be viewed different. And this is a complete stranger. They don't even know me. But that's how I felt. And so I didn't want to be vulnerable. And so I was able to get over that vulnerability hurdle last year. I grew very vulnerable with myself and with other people. And now I feel ready to be vulnerable with a therapist, because I feel like it's going to help me make some really huge breakthroughs. Even though I did a lot last year, I do feel like there's more that I can accomplish. And so definitely finding someone who looks like me, who's around my age group, and that I can have a free-flowing conversation with. Of course, someone who's going to be consistent and who is fairly close by, so that if it's too much travel, let's be honest, we don't want to go, right? I'm going to be scratching my head like, that's a trek. And so someone who's relatively close by that I'll be willing to travel to, even when I'm a little bit tired. And so that's been so difficult. I keep thinking I'm finding someone. I'm like, yes, this is going to great. They fit all these boxes. They check off all the boxes, like, yes, got this, got that. And then it's like, oh, well, no, we don't take your insurance. Or, oh, I thought I did, but I don't. Oh, and it's been so frustrating. And yeah. And so those of you who are out there who are struggling to find a therapist, I am with you on that one. Those of you who have a wonderful therapist, please share their information with me. DM me, send me an email, because I'm definitely looking. And that's really just for me. Like, it's not because I'm going through anything. It's really just because I just want someone to talk to unpack some things with. I don't want to keep burdening my friends, right? Because we're all going through stuff. And I personally, I don't mind being a sounding board for my friends. And again, I have my homeboy who's amazing, but he also has his own practice and he's taking on other people's stuff. And I don't want to be a burden to him. And I think that's the plight that a lot of us women have, right? It's like, we know that we shouldn't take on too much. And some of us might even be at that place where we're like, yeah, I need some help. I want some help. And then it's so difficult finding it, right? And then it kind of deters us. And then we kind of say, maybe I don't need anyone. I can do it on my own. And I don't want to fall into that place, because I really want to talk to someone. I really want to get the benefits of having someone who is completely unbiased, who doesn't know me from Susie, and can really be honest with me and give me a different perspective on some things and maybe how I'm viewing things. And I really hope I can find someone soon to do that, because again, strong women need help too. And We oftentimes forget about our strong friends, right? We often forget to ask them how they're doing and if they need anything. And as a strong, quote unquote, strong woman, I do categorize myself as that, or I guess I'm viewed that way. We sometimes don't want to ask for help, and it's not because we don't want the help, it's because we don't want to burden other people. So that's been my quest, and I guess that's what's happening right now for me, is looking for a therapist. And in regards to doing like some kind of what's happening in the news, etc., I'll let that be Love Shelley's thing. She's really good at that. She's always informing me about things, so hopefully she'll be on the next episode and she can get us up to date on what's been happening with I believe there's been some ongoings with R. Kelly, as well as with Jesse, and some stuff with like Kodak Black and Young M.A. and all kinds of things has been going on. But that's what's happening right now for me. For this episode's Connection Corner, I had two really short quotes, but they were still so I felt profound and pertinent to this episode, and I'm gonna leave you off with fix another queen's crown without telling the world it was crooked, and strong women still need their hands held. So thank you for joining us for this episode. Hope you join us again. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Oasis Podcast. I hope you were able to find something that resonated with you on your journey. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode, and like us on Instagram at the Oasis Podcast. If you have any questions or comments, direct message us on Instagram or email us at ajaysoasis@gmail.com. Again, that's AAYJAYSOASIS@gmail.com.